Moran as district clerk for the 2024-25 school year. Further, she will be bonded under the public employee dishonesty coverage in the amount of $100,000. Can I have a motion? Pat, can I have a second? Leslie? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Ms. Moran, would you please come forward so I can swear you in? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Teresa Moran,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of District Clerk
of District Clerk
of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
Town of Hempstead,
Town of Hempstead,
Nassau County,
Nassau County,
New York,
New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Sign that.
And
Take this one back to your seat and fill that out, please. Dr. Lynch, now it's your turn. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Paul Lynch,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Superintendent of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
of Superintendent of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
Town of Hempstead,
Town of Hempstead,
Nassau County, New
Nassau
York,
County, New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Come back.
Thank you.
trustees, Mrs. Danino. I state your name.
I, Leslie Danino,
Do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of trustee of the Board of Education
of trustee of the Board of Education
of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, New York,
Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Sign here and the second page.
Thank you.
Mr. Murray? I state your name.
I, Sean Murray,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, New York,
Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Mrs. Kelly was sworn in the meeting before this.
Do I need to do it again?
Congratulations.
We could do it.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Mike came all the way out.
I state your name.
I, Shannon Kelly,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, New York,
Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to call for nominations for the president.
I'd like to nominate Mr. William Belmont.
Okay.
He does such a great job, and I think he should continue in the role.
Okay. Do you have a second? Second. Okay. All in favor? Thank you. I state your name.
William Belmont,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New
and
York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of President of the Lynbrook Board of Education,
of President of Lynbrook Board of Education,
Town of Hempstead,
Town of Hempstead,
Nassau County,
Nassau County,
New York,
New York,
according to my ability, my
according
best
to
of
the
my
best of my
ability.
ability.
Yeah, in there.
You just want to sign it, right? You did, right? You should not.
I'd like to call for the nomination of Vice President.
I nominate Leslie Dunino.
Okay. Second? Okay. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Congratulations. I state your name.
I, Leslie Danino,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Vice President
of Vice President.
of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
I totally just lost that.
Vice
Vice
President.
President of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
Board of Education,
Board of Education,
Town of Hempstead,
Town of Hempstead,
Nassau
Nassau County,
New York,
New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Can't do the oath, we may need to retract that.
Yeah.
I'd like to call for the nomination of Secretary.
I'd like to nominate Sean Murray for secretary.
Second. All in favor? Okay. Mr. Murray? I
Sean Murray,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the
of
Constitution
the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Secretary of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
of Secretary of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District,
Town of Hempstead,
Town of Hempstead, Nassau County, New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
What's your reading, Bill?
Moving on with the meeting, may I have a motion to appoint Deborah Sabara as Assistant District Clerk for the ensuing year. Further, she will be bonded under public employee dishonesty coverage in the amount of $100,000. Deborah Sabara is not present. The oath of office will be administered to another time. Give a motion, please. Mrs. Danino, second Mr. Murray. All in favor? None opposed. We have a motion to appoint Linda Gillespie as treasurer of Lynbrook Union Free School District. Further, she will be bonded under public employee dishonesty coverage in the amount of 100,000, right?
Yes.
She will be administered the oath of office another time. Have a motion, please. Ms. Aragona, second. Mr. Blessy, all in favor? All right, so we need to assign some people to our committees and as well as being representatives. Anybody have an interest in being the legislative representative? Mrs. Danino? We need a delegate for the PTA. Mr. Luna, appreciate that. Adult Education Advisor. Shem, like to see that. Newbie jumping right in there. Diversity Committee Liaison. Boom again, like to see that. Shem. And then, how about BOCES Budget Rep? Luna, there you go. Also, we have some committees, so I need some names. I need some people for the Audit Committee. Leslie. Pat and Luna also. And for Policy, Sean, Tara, and Luna again. And Facilities, Sean. And the other two wanted too badly, but I think we're gonna put Leslie and Pat on it anyway. All right, moving along. I'd like to ask for consent agenda on the reorganization resolutions 2407R10 and 2407R70.
That's just for you.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please? Ms. Aragona, second. Mrs. Danino, all in favor? Can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda? Mr. Luna, second. Mr. Murray, all in favor? That concludes the reorg meeting. We'll now open our regular meeting. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the June 5th, 2024 monthly meeting? Mr. Murray and I will be abstaining, so Mrs. Danino, second. Mr. Luna, all in favor? May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the June 26th, 2024 work session? So for that one, Mr. Luna, Mr. Murray, Ms. Blesky, and, oh, that's one we just did. That was that one. Ms. Kell, right, that we just did, right. So they'll have to abstain. So can I have a motion for that? Mr. Danino?
I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
You're only gonna get 3 votes, right? If everyone else is abstaining, you need at least 4.
No, I had
We had a
4.
quorum.
They can,
Ellen was there as quorum.
Ellen was
At the
there.
time,
Yes, but Ellen can't
right,
vote.
but she can't second it now.
we can table.
Ellen can't vote, so you
Right.
need 4 current board members to approve it,
So one of.
which means that one of the people who might otherwise want to abstain should vote.
I'll vote.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
Approved.
All right,
Right.
so,
I'm sorry.
I'm going out on a limb on this one.
all right. So did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, now we have, I'm gonna do retirement now. I'm gonna do it now. We have one retirement this evening. One retirement resolution from Math Lab at Waverly Park, Geraldine Tarantino. Mrs. Geraldine Tarantino, a beloved math lab teacher at Waverly Park Elementary School, has announced her intention to retire effective June 30th, 2024. Mrs. Tarantino began her inspiring career in the Lynbrook School District in 2015, initially serving as a part-time math AIS teacher and resource room teacher. And whereas Mrs. Tarantino's dedication to education began in the North Merrick School District, where she worked as a teaching assistant and a teacher at Camp Avenue School. During this time, she attended Brooklyn College and received a degree in special education. She taught grades 4 and 5, worked in the inclusion program, and offered after-school math and reading classes for students requiring remediation. And whereas Mrs. Tarantino, one of 8 children and a proud graduate of Lynbrook High School, finds it fitting to retire from the district that provided her with an incredible education. She was an active member of the North Belmore PTA and involved in the Association for Children with Down Syndrome, which her son Michael attended. Her work alongside his teachers and therapists sparked his learning and development. Additionally, she was active in the Rockville Center SEPTA and the Parent Association of Kellenberg Memorial High School, where her other 2 sons attended. And whereas for the past 9 years, Mrs. Tarantino has served as the AIS math intervention teacher at Waverly Park, demonstrating exceptional commitment and passion. Her role expanded in response to students' needs, growing over the past 2 years to include increased resource room support at times and additional math AIS. And whereas this year, Mrs. Tarantino piloted and turnkeyed the newly adopted math and movement program, presenting it at our school at our second Monday professional development session. Her enthusiasm and positivity have made teaching math a joy for her students, who love their fluency, exercises, manipulatives, math songs, games, and more. And whereas Mrs. Tarantino has had tremendous impact on the spirit of the Waverly Park school community, her personalized problems of the day, posted at the water fountain, have brightened students' minds. She has spearheaded numerous building initiatives, including school and district spirit events, served on the CRSE committee, and led the efforts for our first cultural fair 3 years ago, which has since become a cherished tradition. And whereas Mrs. Tarantino is described by her colleagues as the kindest person and a conscientious teacher who always goes above and beyond, all the students love her. And whereas the Lynbrook School District Board of Education extends its deepest gratitude and heartfelt appreciation to Mrs. Tarantino for her unwavering dedication and exceptional contributions, and wishes her a happy, healthy retirement with time to spend with her husband, Joe, a retired teacher, and her 3 wonderful children, Joseph, Michael, and Steve. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the resignation of Mrs. Geraldine Tarantino for the purposes of retirement effective June 30th, 2024. And when we lose one, we always get some back. So we have 2 welcomes this evening. Karen McGuire, you can stand up, we always think it'd be the last. Welcome, teacher of the Kindergarten Center. And also Ashley Martin, if you could stand up. New social worker at the high school, welcome. I'll do that for policy committee. Policy committee, we had a first reading of 6130 budget adoption.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
an explanation where the policy committee did not actually deliberate this change yet. We're bringing it right here for a first reading immediately because it's correcting a contradiction in language between policy 6130 and policy 1050 so that the timelines and numbers of votes necessary for the different propositions are in alignment.
Thank you, Ms. Murray. Any comments about school events or anything else from the trustees to report? So before we go on to, we're going to go into a public hearing, but before we do that, we always allow our new hires to leave the room to get on with your evening, so you don't have to sit through the rest of the party. So, welcome, enjoy your summer.
Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Nice job, nice job.
Welcome.
Welcome.
And so now I'm going to turn it over, Dr. Press, we will now have a public hearing on an amendment to the volunteer firefighter and ambulance worker tax exemption. Joel, it's over there.
All right, yeah, I've got some handouts. So, there's enough there for everyone. There is an existing tax exemption, partial tax exemption for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers. Previously, or currently, the law required a 5-year minimum period of time before the person could qualify to get this exemption. Nassau County approved a change that would lower that time frame to 2 years instead of the current 5 years. So the board, in order to enact that, would have to approve that change in the policy. So what I share with you is just some basic information. Currently we have 71 households that get this exemption. My understanding is by changing the minimum period by lowering that to 2 years, there are currently 2 additional households that would qualify for this and not have to wait for the 5 years. So there's some information about the impact there. The impact is minimum on the rest of the taxpayers. Anytime you approve an exemption, that means someone's taxes are exempt, that cost gets spread out among the rest of the taxpayers. In this case, the impact on other taxpayers is minimum, particularly in Class 1, where we tend to have more properties there. We've got about 4,900 properties there. So the information is there. If the board, the question for the board is, would the board adopt the resolution granting the shorter 2-year period for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers to qualify for the exemption? And then if there are any questions
So
from the board.
The determining factor is, even though the firehouse is spread out, the firefighters themselves have to live within the school district or within the village of Lynbrook?
This is an exemption for Nassau County, so it would just be within the boundaries, they would have to live within the boundaries of the school district.
Using current numbers, it would add 2 more homes that would just receive that exemption.
That's the understanding, there would be 2 more homes that would qualify.
In my experience with the volunteer firefighters I know, not a single one of them signs up for 2 years and then stops. It's a lifetime commitment, and they put their lives at risk every time that alarm rings, so I can't even think about any objection where anyone would have to that.
Yeah, I have absolutely no objection to this at all.
I think.
I see no objection. Thank you. At this time, again, keeping in mind there are no questions or hesitation from the board. Does anyone have any public comment on this particular issue? They can express it now. Seeing none, we'll move on. So before I do that, may I have a motion to accept the amended volunteer firefighter and ambulance worker tax exemption, please? Mr. Dino, second. Mr. Luna, all in favor? Okay. There's no old or new business, so we'll move on to Dr. Lynch's report.
Thank,
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right, so I have superintendent's report. So tonight is going to be the formal adoption of the code of conduct. So we had a first reading at the June meeting. This is our second reading, and basically the big changes that happened in the code of conduct is we updated all the technology sections to kind of more reflect the reality of what the kids are actually doing. A couple of other things that are going on are summer programs. So in summer school, we have about 60 students, and that's going to start on Monday, July the 8th. In summer playground, which started on Monday, we have about 560 students at 2 sites, both at Marion Street and at West End. Evening rec has started, and that's from July 1st to August 7th. That is Monday through Thursday, 6 to 9:30. And then finally, our ESY program at Waverly Park has 25 full-time students and also a number of students getting related services. So it's another great program. So we're equally busy during the summer that's going on. So, and on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Press for a capital projects report.
So we have a couple of projects, I guess, of the larger projects going on this summer. The bigger one is the lighting project at Marion Street, which is underway. They delivered equipment actually this morning. I saw them dropping off some heavy equipment there. The bases for those lights should be going in next week. The lights themselves are still being manufactured, so they should be here by the end of July, and then they will get installed when they arrive as well. And then we've got a transformer that would have to get installed as well to get that all up and running. There's a bathroom renovation project at South Middle School, also to take place this summer. So those are the bigger projects, and then we have our usual summer cleanup, maintenance of the existing spaces in the classrooms and things like that. And that's it.
Wasn't it a project involving doors and elevators or something?
There was.
And wasn't it a project that this community approved and your trustees approved and the board approved, and you then did what with those approvals?
We had the architect draw up some plans, sent those plans up to New York State. New York
And did they do anything with those plans?
Eventually they did. Yeah, it took them about 6 months.
And did they make major changes to those plans?
Not a single one.
Right, but now because they took so long to let it sit on their desk, are we doing that project now?
We're doing it not now. We had to do it next summer, because the lead time on us getting the actual doors, the doors wouldn't have come until the fall.
It's not the lead time, it's that the fact that Albany began to hold our plans for a ridiculous amount of time, then doesn't make it possible for us to do it based on the way the economy, products, and everything else works. You don't have to use those words, I use them. Thank you much.
Yes.
Ms. Price.
So use those words we use behind closed doors.
Right. No pun intended on the doors.
Really, I'm not getting the point you're trying to make.
Yeah, I'll give you another point, because I don't get much time left here. When everyone signed paperwork today for notary work, another legislative thing, to be a notary, as I am, and as the other attorney, is when you come to notarize something, you just stamp it. Now, the state decided you have to keep logs, all kinds of paperwork when you notarize someone something. Absolutely ridiculous that we're doing it, but whatever, I digress, I don't have an opinion on it. All right, at this time, thank you for that, thank you for the superintendent's report, thank you for the information. Public comment, does anyone have anything to say to the board? Soros, you just here for your good looks tonight? Appreciate it. Well, Sal's not here, so you're the one I can call out, you know that. You gotta bring Brescia, you gotta bring Brescia for that buffer. All right, the board gratefully accepts and acknowledges the following donation, an artificial fireplace from Stacy Blaha, the best. Valued at $495 to be signed to the Lynbrook High School Drama Department for future productions. Thank you, Stacy, I'm sure you're never gonna watch this, but thank you. We have a walk-in resolution this evening. It is on Resolution 2407G63. It is a denial of the resolution. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of Education, Lynbrook Union Free School District hereby denies the appeal from the February 5th, 2024 decision of the Superintendent of Schools upholding the suspension of the student named in confidential attachment A. Can I have a... Right, have a motion, please. Mr. Murray, second. Mr. Tenino, all in favor? Thank you. Abstaining. And then finally, on the consent agenda, I'd like to ask for consent agenda on resolutions 2701C1 through 2407C6, 2407NC1 through 2407NC10, and 2407G2 through 2407G62. May I have a motion, please? Mr. Tenino, second. Mr. Lunar, all in favor? May I have a motion to accept the consent agenda? Mr. Plesky, second. Mr. Luna, all in favor? The board will now have their annual retreat. Our next meeting is on August 14th at 7:30. We'll be here in the Atlantic Avenue Boardroom. Everyone enjoy their summer until then.